Good morning, everybody. This is day 17 of our Science AMI. I'm going to X out here so we can see the full graph. And this question, I highlighted it in color just to show myself and to show you guys some important points on this. Let's look at the actual question that they're trying to they're wanting us to answer. And it says right here, the data table shows you the results of an experiment testing stopping distance on dry and wet pavement. You are asked to predict the lengths, and I say that a little weird, sorry, from New York, required to stop when the speed is 37.5 miles per hour based on what you know of the experimental design and the recorded data. What would your response be? And I put in here, I wrote this in where it says you need to answer for wet and dry roads. And let me just put a little note in here to you right now. Basically, this graph has got to be an average. I put down an average of 5 trials because for an experiment to be considered valid, it needs to have at least 3 trials so that our data, I'm just going to tell you right now, our data table will just say represents the average of 5 trials. So this is our average. Now, if we need to know what is the stopping distance, okay, basically that's this chart right over here, stopping distance in feet. I made a list of what are our knowns here. We have known is the road condition. We're looking at wet and dry. Our vehicle speeds are going to be 25 and 50. That's what's on our charts, 25 and 50, 25 and 50. Then it gives us our braking distance. That's how far the car is back when your foot actually hits the brake. And then the stopping distance is how many feet it takes before the car will actually stop. So there is a difference here from the time you put your foot down on the brake to the point that the car actually needs to stop. That's how many feet the stopping distance is. So the question wants to know what would be the what would be the stopping distance if you were going 37.5? And I put in here a little hint, 37.5 miles per hour is halfway between the 25 and 50. There's a little hint for your calculations there. So do we need to even read anything on here? The answer is no. This is all background information. I highlighted where it says in yellow definitions, and this is basically what this whole experiment is talking about. The activity will consider 2 types of friction, sliding and static friction. So we're looking at to see what our car would do or our vehicle that we're driving given the 2 different road conditions. These are all definitions in here. We don't need to read this to answer the question. So based on the evidence from the text and graph, I predict the length required to stop when the speed is 37.5 miles per hour is, and then I put in there too for dry road conditions, and it's going to be different for wet road conditions because you can see there's a difference between a dry and a wet. When you look here, look at this. I'm trying to see why this didn't go I wanted to get it as a pointer. Okay. Keeps going as a snowball. But anyway, look at the difference between your dry and your wet road conditions. I think you've got this. I put in here on a little key right here. Look at your knowns. You guys got this. Have a great day.